When the AAA video game Destiny came out, it was met with both praise and controversy. As would soon become an industry standard, the game did not live up to the hype its advertisers had created. Yet, a month after the game's release, nearly 60% of active players had attempted the game's most difficult mission, and as many as 15% had completed it. And Destiny continued to keep a large player base well into its second and third year of content. What little data that could be found about Destiny's player base led to rumors that even Destiny's PvP mode averaged around 400,000 players, which was extreme in comparison to popular games Battlefield and Battlefront at the time. With as much criticism as Destiny received, how could it have possibly stayed so popular? Destiny has a structure that was essentially unseen in other console games. Roughly similar to online computer games League of Legends or World of Warcraft, Destiny featured content that was updated every few months with new activities, stories, and items. Additionally, it features a world constantly saturated with players, the majority of activities requiring 2 friends or 2 strangers to play. This content flow and social structure allowed the game to stay sufficiently fresh for its whole first year, before the flow of content slowed down to 1 big update a year. However, not even that was Destiny's true reason for success. On Destiny's release, many types of players were drawn to the game. Players hoping it would be like World of Warcraft or League of Legends. Players excited for a new game by the creators of the Halo franchise. Players who simply wanted to try a new game, and many more. But a month or 2 in, the game weeded all these players to a few groups. Those who enjoyed looter shooters, combined with those who got a kick out of playing with friends and strangers. There's a few reasons for this, but when it comes down to them, it seems that the most obscure is the one that truly brought players back. Destiny had quite a few things going for it. Its controls and gunplay are near perfect. Playing starts to feel like the controller isn't even there. Abilities and weapons are fun to use. Its graphics and scenery are beautiful. Its music is interesting and well composed. However, players of Destiny found that there were many negative aspects of the game as well. Take these 2 reviews for example. Kollar from Polygon said, "Bosses, who are, if you'll pardon the cliché, bullet sponges that take entirely too long to kill." And Gies said, "That plot, or lack thereof, is where I first noticed Destiny's potential and its failure to live up to it." Ultimately, what kept Destiny with all of its faults alive is its reward structure, which is based around what many call grind-based gameplay. When you first play Destiny, you are presented with a campaign that lays out the game's story and familiarizes the player with the game's mechanics. One of the main criticisms of the game is that said campaign is very short, completed in a day by hardcore fans and in no more than a week by significantly more casual players. Once the campaign is finished, the flow of Destiny changes greatly, resulting in the weeding out of the player types I mentioned before. After the campaign, you are presented with roughly 6 different game types to play: strikes, PvP, and raids, and different daily and weekly missions. This may not seem like many, and frankly it isn't. After a couple of weeks of playing the game, even the biggest fans can sense the repetition. What keeps it rewarding is the random rewards gained from completing the different challenging activities. This is what has been dubbed the grind. The eventually very repetitive playing of various game types and activities with the goal of obtaining specific or high-level rewards. Even though it has been bashed constantly for its repetitiveness and complained about by even fans, the grind for loot is what gives each player that sticks with the game a drive to come back for more. This is because through the rewards gained, the player is able to customize and identify with the character's looks and playstyles, and as a result, become more attached to it. To take a look at Destiny's reward structure, I'll break it into 2 parts: cosmetics and playstyle. In Destiny, the player can choose from 3 classes, each of which have different armor and abilities, and they can customize the character's race, gender, and face. Once in the game, the player is gradually presented with differently styled armor pieces that increase in level and generally looks over time. And once the campaign is finished, the player can earn high level and unique armor and use shaders to modify the armor's color scheme. With the armor and shaders earned, the player can gradually make their characters look the way that they want, allowing them to identify with it. The gratification is not instant, however. Not only does high-level armor require putting time into the game to level up your character, which is a decently linear process, but each activity played uses a method called RNG, which stands for Random Number Generator, to choose rewards. The RNG is weighted so that high-level loot is rare and vice versa, meaning it could be 1 or 100 games before you receive the piece of armor you strive for, and your friends might have gotten it weeks ago. This is the core of the grind. Each game the player plays, they could potentially receive the reward they want, a fact that makes the player play again and again. And when they do receive that award, the effort they put into it and the look they achieve for their character expands the attachment they feel for the game. Destiny isn't unique in this type of reward-based gameplay. In games like World of Warcraft, you complete activities and defeat bosses for chances of good loot. But when the reward-based gameplay is combined with all of Destiny's positive attributes, it gives the player a reason to play in spite of Destiny's failures, and creates a game unlike World of Warcraft or others that a large number of players enjoy. As mentioned before, in Destiny you can choose from 3 classes, which are Hunter, Warlock, and Titan. Along with varying armor and looks, each class has greatly differing abilities and playstyles, with customizable subclasses for each class that require leveling up over time. This allows the player to fine-tune their abilities and movement style to what works for them, which is important because it means that even if you prefer to sprint into battle and beat up enemies, or if you prefer to stay back and attack from afar, you can enjoy playing Destiny. Additionally, in the same way high-level and attractive cosmetics are obtained, you can receive different types of weapons. There are 11 weapon types, from handgun to sniper to rocket launcher, and different versions of each weapon. This diversity in abilities and weapons allows the player to fine-tune their character to the way they like to play, and change things up when things get boring. And of course, the ability to customize and improve style and power leads back to the grind, which you need to put up with to obtain new weapons or level up, meaning the player comes back again and again. Ultimately, the rewards available through the grind of Destiny allow the player to slowly customize their character to their visual and functional liking. Even when the content becomes repetitive, this provides a reason to come back for more. While the game's uniqueness, graphics, art, music, and lore all contribute to what fans about the game, what truly keeps people coming back is the sense of accomplishment achieved from the grind. The idea that the grind, criticized and complained about often, is what makes Destiny a replayable game reflects not only on Destiny but on modern gaming as a whole. Many new games lack in aspects that many would consider the biggest parts of the game, campaign, stability, yet keep players coming back to obtain better and stronger items or more attractive cosmetics. As for Destiny though, the grind most definitely is what keeps the game rewarding and is something the game executes very well. But if you're not the type of person who likes looter shooters, Destiny is probably not a game for you.